Hello friends, welcome once again to Rick's Garage. Today I'm working on this '06 Altima. The problem is the crankshaft sensor. It's been running really rough and stalling, hard to start. When we pulled the code, that's what indicated a faulty sensor. That's that sensor that's down deep behind the motor. It's kind of hard to get at, you need a camera to see it. There are a couple of real nice videos on YouTube on how to do this job. And normally I don't like to duplicate things that are well done on YouTube. The only reason I want to show you this job, my own version of this job, is I want to try out my new endoscope camera. This is the part we're going to be installing. It's from Napa. Just one word of caution, if you're going to go on eBay and buy one of these sensors for about $9, don't waste your time. They're not worth the metal they're made out of. If you go to a Nissan dealer and buy an original equipment one, that'll cost you about $140. So what I found as a good alternative is to go to a quality parts store like Napa, and this sensor costs about $50. A lot better than paying $140, and it'll be a little bit more reliable than something you could get on eBay for $9 or $10. So especially given the difficulty of this repair. So over here we have my endoscope camera. This is the lens. It has a little magnetic attachment to hold it to where you need to keep it, and it also has a little light at the end. So and this is the controller. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so you can watch it on your cell phone or your computer. And so that's the whole purpose of showing you this job today. I wanted to try out this new endoscope camera. These are not very expensive. You can buy these from under $50, and we'll see how it works. It'll be my first attempt at using it. Also for this job, I'm going to be using the Eastwood hood light. It does a nice job of lighting up the engine compartment. The first thing you want to do is disconnect your negative battery terminal. The reason for this is to avoid deploying your airbags, and especially if you're working on any kind of electrical components, it's a good idea to have the negative battery terminal off. Next, you want to remove your engine cover if you're so equipped. In this particular car, there are T30 Torx to remove these. Okay, should come right up. There we go, and that's out of the way. Next, I'm going to unplug the flow sensor, called the mass flow sensor. I believe you squeeze this little, there's two hands here, I guess. There we go. Squeeze that little tab, pull that plug right off. Then you want to pull off your crankcase vent. Come on off of there, you. All right, that's off. All right, next we're going to unscrew the clamp that holds the mass airflow ductwork onto the throttle body. Okay. Alright, that's off. Alright, now we're going to unclip our air filter box, and that should slide out fairly easily, and the whole thing should come right out of there, and it does. Okay, with those things out of the way, we can get started. Alright, I've gone ahead and I've turned on the Wi-Fi camera. As you can see, it's got a little light at the end of it, which will come in handy. And so the controller I've got suction cupped to the windshield just to keep it out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and see how we do with this. Okay, this sensor that we're trying to replace is almost right underneath this throttle body. It's right where the engine and the transmission bell housings meet. So we're going to try to snake this camera straight down through here and run it down a little bit, and we're going to see if we can get a look at the sensor that we're going to try to replace. As I said before, this camera is Wi-Fi enabled, so naturally there's an app you have to download. It'll be in instructions of the camera, and so I have already downloaded the app. I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to my Wi-Fi. Find that I've already got the Wi-Fi endoscope listed here, and I'm going to switch it on. Okay, it's on, and the camera is on. So now I'm going to go to the actual app now that I've enabled the camera. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to press the button that says start, and I should start to see a video. And I do. Okay, so the camera is transmitting to my phone. What I'm going to use is a 1/4-inch drive ratchet with a 10mm socket, and I've got two extensions, a 6-inch and a 3-inch extension on it. And I'm going to see if I can get on that nut just to loosen it, then I'll transfer it to a different tool. Now that I've got it started, I'm going to switch over to a nut driver and see if I can get it the rest of the way out. Alright, you can see I've got it loosened up and it's almost completely out. I'm going to try to go in with my magnet, see if I can pull it out of there. Okay, that was easy enough. I got it right out of there with my magnet. This is the plug right here. There's a little, I don't know if you can tell or you can see this, but there's a little green tab that has to be pushed in, and that will release the plug. Gotta push it in to hear it click. So I'm gonna get a little screwdriver to give it a little help. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can get this in there and give it a little twist to kind of get it out of there, and that worked. There it is, it's out. So I've got the new sensor in my hand from Napa. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to plug this new sensor back in. There, do you hear it click in? The new sensor's installed. At least plugged in anyway. So now we can go back to our camera view and try to get the sensor back in its location. Now that we've got the sensor in position, it's time to reinstall the bolt. It's a little 10mm bolt. I saw a neat little trick on one of the other videos, a guy took a piece of tape to hold the bolt in the socket so you can get it in. One thing I'm worried about with that, if the tape is that tight, the socket's probably going to come off and stay with the bolt. So I also put a little piece of tape where the socket attaches to my nut driver. Hopefully that will prevent the socket from getting stuck. So I'm going to switch back to the camera view, the endoscope camera view, and we'll see how this goes. As you can see, I've got the nut started, but it doesn't appear that the sensor is all the way in, and I don't want to force it in with the nut to run the risk of breaking it. So I'm going to try to go in with my hand and try to push it in the rest of the way. Alright, that looks like I got it in there pretty good, so I'm going to try to finish tightening it. I'm going to use the ratchet this time. As you can see, I got it all tightened up, and so really with the aid of that camera, the job really wasn't that bad at all. I've seen the guys on the YouTube, they use their phones in selfie mode, but then you're working like, it's like working with a mirror. Left is right and right is left, and it's kind of hard. Where this endoscope got me a nice view straight down from the top, and it was a lot easier to find my way in there. So now all that's left to do is just put everything back on in reverse, put your mass flow sensor back on, connect it all up, your airbox, and your engine cover if your car's so equipped. So that's all I've got. Sorry, I just hit the camera. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.